Okay. Let me weigh in on the Gatanga CCM story. I think they changed the name to Sen An whatever, Annuarite or whatever they call it. I want to weigh in on that story because, as a parent and as a mother, uh, I was horrified when I saw the story. Yeah, when I saw the story, I was horrified. I remember watching it on NTV, and I think it was covered by Dennis Okari, and this is like 3 years ago or so. And I think it did not sink in then like it sank in now when I saw the mother hosted by Lynn Gogi. And the reason why I'm weighing in on this is that I think this deputy should be arrested. I think the deputy should be arrested. And I don't know why she is still teaching in that school. I don't know why. I don't even know why the principal is still teaching in that school, because I think these two know what happened and they covered it up. They covered it up. The fact that this case was not investigated makes me very, very, very worried. For those of us, or rather those parents that have children, especially in high schools in Kenya, the fact that this story, or rather this situation, was not investigated makes me very worried at what is happening in Kenya. I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. Now, if this thing was dealt with in a fair way, a death happened in a school, okay? It happened. Well, the girl, apparently, the doctors say that by the time she was taken to the hospital, she was already dead. She was dead. So, technically, the death happened in the school. And the toxicology report, or rather the postmortem report, daktari alisema there was a very fresh blunt object contact that caused hemorrhage. It caused bleeding in the brain. I don't know what other evidence these people are looking for. I really don't know. Because the moment that Lynn Gogi went live on this story, there should have been a police hunt. There should have been a police hunt that went into that Gatanga school and harvested the deputy. Eh? There should have been action taken immediately. This woman went live. At hiyo nini ya Lingugi. There should have been some action taken. Because guess what? The Ministry of Education failed this mother 3 years ago. The TSE that checks the conduct of the teachers failed this mother 3 years ago. The DCI, or rather these people that are whatever, DCI, failed this mother 3 years ago. You already have sufficient evidence. I don't know what other evidence. You have sufficient medical evidence from a medical professional who performed the toxicology examination. They performed the postmortem. They verified that there was a blunt object that came into contact with this young girl, and she died. She died. I don't know what else you want this woman to prove. I don't know how much more pain you need to inflict in this woman. The only way she can find closure, because she'll never get her daughter back. She's never gonna get her daughter back. Abby is never coming back. But the only way for this mother to move on and to find some closure is for you to go and harvest that deputy and put her in her place. She needs to be investigated, she needs to be interrogated, and she needs to be sentenced and put in jail. Kwa sababu huyo ndiye aligonga huyo mtoto na huyo mtoto akakufa. Oh, mtoto alianguka sijui ya wika. Daktari alisema there was an object that came into contact with her head that caused bleeding in the brain. period. That is a medical professional, anaweza simamishwa kwa court na aseme hiyo maneno eh? Sasa mimi sijui what is going on, because there is nothing that was done 3 years ago. Even with that report was sufficient enough to put this deputy in jail, ndio awe funzo kwa madeputy wengine na walimu wengine, because children are really really suffering in the hands of the teachers. A lot of children, we are reading stories. Mwingine alichapwa huko, sijui amekula chapo. Some boy was beaten up in school because he ate 5 chapatis. Some other girls huko, they ate some special food. They were sent back home, and the parents were given a bill of 10,000 shillings. There's just so much crap that is happening in these schools. These teachers are like, they're not taking it like a school. They are taking it like a boot camp. It's like, oh my God, ni kama kupeleka watoto Siberia, in a war zone. You're beating up a child, killing a child. Wewe mzazi, you pay school fees. Unaenda huko unalima shamba za watu, ama you do whatever job you do, and then you pay school fees. You send a child to school whole and well. Mtoto mzima, mtoto umepikia ugali. The child is well. You send them to school. Either they come back home crippled, because I don't even know this boy who ate chapati mwene alichapwa huko shule. I don't know what happened to that boy. I never had anything. I think that little boy was in the hospital. I don't know what happened to that boy. Hiyo nayo ilienda hivyo ikaenda hivyo. Lakini you send your child to school, either they come back crippled or they are dead. Zile stories ziko kwa hizi mashule, you'll be shocked. Is zile story, and you know what? I don't know what's happening to some of these teachers, because I think some of them are suffering from mental illness, or something is just not right. Mtu anaenda huko anapigwa na bwana yake, unakuja kupiga mtoto wa wenyewe. Unaua. Unaua mtoto wa wenyewe, my friend. I don't understand. Teaching is a calling. It's the same way sisi when we are in medical professionals, it's a calling. It's not just a job where you go and you teach, and then you harvest your salary and you go home. It is a calling. Huyu mtoto si mtoto wako. Kwa hivyo ukichapa mtoto wa wenyewe, ukumbuke that is not your child. Wewe mwalimu, it's not your child. And you, because many of these teachers are parents, how would you feel when you sent your child to school? Because you teachers have children in schools. You send your child in school and the child gets beat up like an animal. How would you feel? Oh, I remember we grew up with that kind of discipline. Thank God we are living in different times. We are living in very different times. There's so much going on in the world. Besides whatever is going on in the world, now we are sending our children wanaenda wanachapwa huko. This teacher from Gatanga needs to go to jail. She needs to go to jail. I think these people should shout. Women should just make a lot of noise. This teacher needs to be harvested. Afutwe kazi, apelekwe jela. Aende akapelekwe huko. She needs to at least, something needs to be done. You know what? This death happened in school. The report says that this child was received when they were dead. That school was a crime zone. It was supposed to be put a yellow tape. Iekwe yellow tape ifungwe. I don't even know why that school is still open. Ingekwa yellow tape, investigations zifanywe, madetective waende huko, waangalie what exactly happened. Wahoji watoto, and everybody needed to be investigated. The children, everybody needed to be questioned. There needs to have been an investigation. That thing did not happen. Why? Why? Why didn't it happen? What kind of country is this where justice is almost like a vocabulary? What kind of country is this? You have all the report. You have the report. You have the evidence. What else are you waiting for? This teacher needs to be in jail. She should not enjoy her life when a woman is crying there because aliua mtoto wake. Because guess what? Aliua mtoto wake. Whether you want to hear it or not. Because I put that post on Facebook and some people came after me. Oh, Ati, you're here accusing somebody of murder and this thing. It was not investigated. Because if it was investigated, that woman would be in jail. She would be in jail by now. Because why? Why would she be in jail? Ndio hiyo toxicology report, ndio hiyo postmortem report ya daktari amesema there was a blunt object, very fresh. Oh, ati sijui alianguka when she had a dream, she had a nightmare, she fell from her bed. Listen, the doctor said, mdomo ya daktari na ako pale. I watched that thing for nani, for Dennis Sukari on NTV. That doctor said that hiyo contact ya hiyo object was very very fresh. That in itself should have sent this woman in jail because she was the last one to hit that child. As a mother, I'm very offended. And I don't understand. I don't understand why a mother is crying 3 years later. I don't get it. I'm sorry. You know what? I don't get it. I think the system has failed her. She said she's a voter. She voted for Uhuru Kenyatta. The system has failed this citizen of Kenya. She's not a lesser Kenyan. She is a Kenyan like any other Kenyan. And she deserves justice. The only way that she can find a little closure is for this woman to pay. Huyu mwanamke aende. She needs to go to jail. Because guess what? She killed her daughter. It is what it is. Aliua mtoto wa wenyewe. And she cannot be teaching other children. In fact, she should be put away from other children. She should not have any contact with other children. That is a killer. There is a killer on the loose in Gatanga. There is a killer on the loose in Gatanga. Na kama wewe ni mzazi uko na mtoto wako huko, you should be very worried. Because guess what? There is a killer there. Kuna mtu aliua mtoto huko. There is a killer who should be in jail and she's there with your children. You should be very worried. You should be rallying behind this mother and demanding for justice for the sake of your child that is in that school. She needs to be in jail. That is my opinion.